There are certain people who walk through life almost unnoticed, but they change every room they enter. They don't chase attention, but somehow people notice them. They don't speak often, but when they do, their words stay with you. These men don't fit the crowd, and they're not trying to. They live by a code that no one taught them. They walk alone, but with purpose. These are Sigma males. But what if there's more to it? What if Sigma males aren't just mysterious or different? What if there's something more? Something rare? Something divine? What if they're quietly doing the work of angels? It may sound extreme, but when you really look at how they live, how they love, and how they lead, the signs are hard to ignore. Sigma males show strength without pride. They help without needing credit. They walk into storms and come out calmer. And the people around them often feel safer just because they're there. In faith and spiritual stories, angels don't always show up with wings or glowing robes. Sometimes they appear as people. Regular-looking people with something different in their presence. Something strong. Something protective. Something pure. That's what this video is about. We're going to explore 6 reasons why Sigma males might just be angels in human form. These aren't just traits, they're signs. Signs of something bigger moving through them. Signs that their mission is about more than success or attention. It's about service. It's about healing. And most of all, it's about light in a dark world. These men don't need followers. They don't want praise. But somehow they guide others anyway. They protect the weak. They lift people up. And they do it all without asking for anything in return. You've probably seen it without realizing. A quiet man helping a stranger without being asked. A loyal friend who always shows up even if he never says much. A brother, a mentor, a co-worker who carries a calm energy that changes everything. And if you've ever been around one, you know the truth. There's something special about him. Something that feels safe. Something that feels guided. Maybe that something isn't just him. Let's take a closer look at the first reason why Sigma males might be more than human. Reason number 1. Silent protection. 700 words. You don't always see it when it happens. But Sigma males are protectors. Not loud. Not aggressive. But steady. Quiet. Watchful. They see danger before others do. They step in when no one else will. And they do it without making a scene. That's what makes their protection different. It's silent. You won't find a Sigma male starting fights just to prove he's strong. He's not interested in dominance. But if someone he cares about is being hurt or threatened, he acts. Quickly. Calmly. And usually without warning. This isn't about being a hero. It's about doing what's right without hesitation. There are stories everywhere of men who quietly step in during tense moments. The one who stops the argument before it gets worse. The one who walks a friend to their car late at night. The one who notices a problem before anyone else does. That's a Sigma male in action. Always alert. Always calm. Always prepared to step in when it counts. What makes this protection feel so angelic is the way it's delivered. There's no ego. No lecture. No need to be thanked. He doesn't step in for attention. He steps in because it's who he is. People around him often feel safer, even if they can't explain why. His energy is grounded. His focus is sharp. And his reaction when needed is fast and controlled. Sigma males don't just protect people physically. They also protect emotions. They guard people's secrets. They listen without judgment. They offer support without asking for anything in return. That emotional protection is powerful. It makes people feel seen, safe, and understood. This protective nature isn't always obvious. In fact, it usually isn't. Because Sigma males don't advertise it. They don't walk around acting like saviors. But if someone they love is in danger, spiritually, emotionally, or physically, they show up. Every time. And here's the part that feels even more like something divine. They don't get tired of it. They don't stop protecting just because no one notices. Their strength doesn't run out because it doesn't come from the world. It comes from somewhere deeper, somewhere sacred. In the quiet, in the chaos, or in the background, the Sigma is watching, waiting, ready to shield those who can't shield themselves. That's the first reason some believe they're more than just men. Reason number 2, empathy without expectations. Empathy is rare in today's world. Real empathy, the kind that listens without trying to fix, helps without expecting anything back, and loves without needing to be loved in return. Sigma males have this kind of empathy. It's deep, it's quiet, and it never asks for a spotlight. That's what makes it special. Most people want something in return when they help. Recognition, praise, approval. But the Sigma male doesn't move that way. He listens because he cares. He helps because it's right, not because it makes him look good. That kind of empathy can feel unreal. It feels almost divine. You'll notice it when people start telling him things they've never shared with anyone. You'll see it in how he gives people space to talk without rushing to respond. He's not there to fix you, he's there to understand you. That presence alone can heal wounds people didn't even know they had. He doesn't need to be the center of attention. He's fine being the quiet shoulder, the silent support, the one who stays when others leave. And people remember that forever. Empathy like this doesn't scream. It whispers. And Sigma males have mastered that whisper. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. When to comfort and when to just sit with someone in their pain. It's not performative, it's real. And maybe the most powerful part of their empathy is this. It's patient. They don't push people to open up. They don't rush healing. They wait. They sit. They stand by. And when someone's ready, they're still there. That kind of love isn't common. And it's not easy. But it's exactly what makes some believe Sigma males are sent, not just born. Because empathy without expectations is one of the most powerful signs of a pure spirit. And Sigma males carry that purity in how they care. They may never ask for thanks. They may never even talk about what they've done. But their presence changes people. Not through power, but through kindness. And in today's world, that kind of quiet kindness might just be the loudest proof of something higher. Reason number 3, inner light of integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. It's not flashy. It's not rewarded. But it's the foundation of a life lived with purpose. And for Sigma males, integrity isn't just a decision, it's a way of being. They don't talk about it. They just live it. That quiet consistency is one of the clearest signs that something sacred guides them. In today's world, people switch masks depending on the situation. They shift their values to match the room. But Sigma males don't play those games. They stay the same, no matter where they are. Their choices reflect their beliefs, even when it costs them. That's rare. And it's powerful. People often feel safe around Sigma males without even knowing why. It's because they can sense that inner light, that moral clarity, that unwavering truth. It doesn't need to be explained. It just exists. And that calm, grounded presence brings peace to the people near them. You'll notice it in their relationships. Sigma males don't cheat, manipulate, or lie to get ahead. They value honesty even when it's hard. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. And if they mess up, they own it. No excuses. No blame. That level of personal responsibility doesn't come from fear of being caught. It comes from within, from something higher. In moments of pressure, when others fold, the Sigma male stands firm. Not because he's stubborn, but because he knows who he is. That kind of self-awareness is often developed in solitude, through reflection, and in many cases through spiritual connection. When a man lives by his values without needing validation, he becomes a light. A quiet light. Not the kind that blinds, but the kind that guides. That light is the kind people follow without knowing why. Because it feels safe. It feels honest. It feels real. Some call it moral clarity. Others call it spiritual authority. But either way, it's rare. And when you see it, you know this man isn't pretending. He's not trying to impress. He's just walking his truth. And that truth isn't shaken by trends, fear, or pressure. That's why Sigma males often feel different. Not because they're perfect, but because they're anchored. And that anchor, it doesn't come from the world. Reason number 4, grace under pressure. When chaos hits, most people fall apart. They panic. They freeze. Or they lash out. But Sigma males respond with something else, grace. Not because they don't feel the stress, but because they know how to stay still when everything else is shaking. This grace under pressure is more than a personality trait. It's a spiritual quality. A sign that something greater is holding them steady. In moments of crisis, the Sigma male doesn't need to be loud to lead. He doesn't need control to feel strong. His calm becomes a compass for others. Just by staying steady, he gives people a sense of direction. A feeling that everything might be okay, even if nothing looks okay. Think about the man who stays composed while others are yelling, who speaks calmly in the middle of a storm, who helps others breathe even when he's under pressure too. That's not just self-control. That's grace. The kind of grace that feels like it's coming from somewhere above. This calm presence changes the energy in a room. It doesn't demand attention, but it gets it anyway, because people can sense that he's not afraid, not shaken, not distracted. That steadiness becomes a lifeline for others. In many spiritual texts, angels are described as messengers of peace. They show up in the middle of fear and everything calms down. Sigma males don't have wings, but they bring that same peace. That same silent power. It's not that they're fearless. It's that they know how to focus on what matters most, even when the noise gets loud. That ability to hold peace under pressure is a form of leadership that's not taught. It's earned. Through pain. Through growth. Through deep connection to something bigger than yourself. Sigma males don't avoid pressure. They don't run from storms. They walk into them and help others get through. Not with speeches. Not with control. But with presence. And that presence? It heals more than words ever could. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stay calm. And Sigma males have mastered that strength in silence. Reason number 5, selfless guidance. Sigma males don't give advice to sound smart. They don't speak to hear their own voice. But when they do speak, people listen. Because their words are thoughtful, quiet, and filled with wisdom. That kind of guidance feels different. It doesn't push. It doesn't demand. It doesn't try to control. It simply offers direction and lets others choose the path. That's what makes it so powerful. Sigma males guide without ego. They don't give advice to prove anything. They give it because they care, and because they've walked through the pain themselves. Their wisdom comes from experience, not theory. From living, not lecturing. They don't chase students. They don't need followers. But people still follow them. Not because they're the loudest, but because they're the clearest. That's what makes their guidance feel sacred. You'll notice it in the way they listen before they speak, in how they pause before answering, in the way their words feel like they come from a place of truth, not opinion. They guide friends. They guide partners. They guide strangers. And they do it all without needing to be thanked. Because for the Sigma male, it's never about being right. It's about being real. They'll never force you to take their advice. They won't shame you for not listening. They offer their truth, then let it go. That respect creates trust. And that trust allows people to grow. This selfless guidance shows up in little moments. A quiet comment that sticks with you for years. A short message that comes at just the right time. A few words that help you see yourself more clearly. That kind of timing isn't always planned. It feels given. Like they were meant to be there in that moment, for that reason. And for those who believe in purpose, that's no accident. The Sigma male's words often feel like more than advice. They feel like answers. Gentle, firm, humble answers. Given in love. Given without pride. And when you look back, you realize his guidance didn't just help you make a decision. It helped you become stronger. That's the kind of leadership that changes lives. Quiet. Gentle. Holy. Reason number 6. Resilient faith in goodness. Sigma males are not perfect. They've faced betrayal, heartbreak, loss, and moments of deep doubt. But what separates them from most is what they choose after the pain. They don't grow cold. They don't turn bitter. They still believe in doing good. That kind of faith, faith in goodness after everything has gone wrong, is one of the clearest signs that something divine lives inside them. When someone has every reason to give up on people and they still choose to be kind, that's not weakness. That's strength. When they've been let down but still protect others, still lift others, and still move through the world with integrity, that's spiritual resilience. Sigma males often walk alone. They've learned not to expect fairness. But somehow they don't let the world's darkness make them dark. Instead, they become light. Quiet light. Gentle strength. A force for good that doesn't ask for attention. This kind of inner goodness isn't naive. It's not blind. It's aware. It sees the truth about people but still chooses compassion. Still chooses patience. Still chooses grace. And in a world where anger is loud and cruelty is common, that choice becomes revolutionary. That's what makes the Sigma male different. He doesn't give love because it's easy. He gives it because it's needed. He doesn't offer peace because it makes him look good. He offers it because he knows what it's like to need peace and not have it. He's not trying to fix the world, but he refuses to let the world break him. That refusal, that steady decision to rise, to serve, to walk in truth, is what gives him an almost angelic energy. He may not talk about faith, but his actions show it. Not just faith in himself, but faith in what's right. Faith in purpose. Faith in something good that never gives up. You'll see it in how he handles loss with grace, in how he treats strangers with dignity, in how he chooses peace again and again. That's not weakness. That's warrior strength. And for those who believe in divine purpose, this kind of strength is no accident. It's placed. It's formed. It's protected. The Sigma male's faith in goodness, even after pain, isn't just rare. It's holy. There's a reason Sigma males feel different. It's not just because they're quiet, or strong, or focused. It's because they carry something deeper, something pure, something sacred. We've looked at 6 powerful reasons why Sigma males might just be angels in human form. They protect without needing recognition. They love without needing reward. They guide without asking for thanks. They stay calm in storms. They walk with truth. And even after pain, they keep choosing goodness. That kind of life doesn't happen by accident. Whether you see it as divine purpose, spiritual design, or quiet destiny, there's no denying the power of the Sigma male presence. They don't stand at the front. They don't raise their voices. But they carry peace. They carry strength. And they carry light. In a world full of noise, ego, and distraction, they remain grounded. And for those lucky enough to know a Sigma, you've probably felt it. The quiet safety in his silence. The power in his stillness. The strength in his calm. He may never call himself an angel. He may never see himself that way. But maybe that's part of what makes him one. Because real angels don't need to be seen. They just show up. They just protect. They just guide. And they just love, quietly, completely, and without conditions. So if you are a Sigma, know this: the world may not always understand you, but your presence is needed. Your purpose is real. And your light is stronger than you think. And if you know a Sigma, take a moment to thank him, not for what he says, but for what he is. Because some men don't just walk through the world, they carry heaven with them.